The San Antonio Spurs made quite the odd trade this week, and there could be many more coming. We're going to talk about that and who else may go next.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Man, it's been a while since I've done a video. I'm back. We're going to talk about this trade over here and maybe some future trades coming up. While I'm doing so, drop a comment down below. What did you like or maybe not like about this trade? Hit that thumbs up if you like sports channel. Subscribe for more Spurs content. And also, let's talk about the other players. Let's get your thoughts on the other players I'm going to bring up who maybe trade bait or get traded, etc. Anyway, the Spurs did a trade this week, recently, with the Boston Celtics, apparently our favorite trade partner. And in doing so, we waived Gorgie Jang to complete the trade. We acquired for Noah Vonleh and cash considerations, as well as exchanging a future second-round pick. And then we ended up waiving Vonleh, so our roster stands at 16. So what does all this mean? What exactly happened, Spurs fans, with this trade? Well, let's pull this down and let's go ahead and bring this up. This is courtesy of SpursTalk.com. I'll put a link in the comments below if you want to check out the article. But why did the Spurs make this trade? That's something I'm seeing quite often. It was a financial move. The Celtics paid the Spurs $1.5 million to take on Vonleh's contract so they could save approximately $7 million in luxury tax. And for the Spurs, it cost about $1 million to release Zhang and about $20,000 to release Vonleh. So in the end, the San Antonio Spurs made $480,000 in the deal, and they have an extra roster spot. Okay, so fine. Moving right along. The second round pick. A lot of folks are concerned about that. You have to understand that second round pick is very protected, Spurs fans. It's protected from picks 31 to 55. That means the Spurs would have to be a top 5 team next year for us to lose that pick. Now, if we are a top 5 team next year, that means, oh my goodness, Spurs fans, are we trending in the right direction? I'll gladly give up that second round pick if we go from a bottom 5 team this year and then instantly to a top 5 team next year. So that is totally copacetic trading that pick. Why the Celtics do it? Save money. Straight cash, homie. Was there anything surprising about this trade from the San Antonio Spurs perspective? I would agree waiving Zhang was a little surprising, but maybe not. He wasn't really playing. He's now fourth on the roster on the depth chart for centers. Jakob Poeltl, Wow, what just happened, Spurs fans? Rusty, Jakob Poeltl, Zach Collins, Charles Bassey, and then Gorgie Zhang was right there. Well, I don't know. I'm going to leave that in. I got to leave that in. That was anyway. So, not surprised he went. I'm sure he'll get picked up by somebody. If we move right along in the article, what will the Spurs do at the open roster spot? I think they're probably sign Charles Bassey to a contract. Right now, he's on his G League contract, I believe, or a two-way contract. I think he's on a two-way contract, according to the article. I think they'll give him an NBA contract. I think he's done enough to show he deserves to be the third center on the team. Gorgie, good luck to you. Thank you for being a Spur, and thank you for being a friend. Anyway, upcoming trades that I want to talk about. Let's first start off with the big guy. Jakob Poeltl. Last year of his contract, set to make, or he's making $9.3 million. Do I think the San Antonio Spurs are going to trade Jakob? You know, I put a lot of thought into this, and you know what? I'm going to go with no. I've been on this channel saying I think it could happen, as I just kind of look at what's happened in the last year plus 2 years. I think, Spurs fans, that our team is just probably going to be asking too much for Jakob Poeltl. I think from what I'm seeing, they're asking for 2 first-round picks, maybe even more than that. And if you're a team that's trying to win now, yes, Jakob Poeltl is going to help your team, but giving up 2 picks for what could be a half-year rental seems pretty risky. And I think the Spurs in the long run would like to keep him and re-sign him if they can. And I got a feeling he likes being in San Antonio. So I think Jakob Poeltl, as many trade rumors have gone around about him in the last 18 months, I don't think he's going to get traded. I think there's a reason his asking price is so high, is because the Spurs want to keep him. Anyway, of course, if the Spurs get the number 1 overall pick and draft Victor Wembanyama, then would they re-sign him? Probably not. I can't imagine a place where Jakob Poeltl, or I can't imagine anything that makes Jakob Poeltl say, I want to go back to being a backup again, because if you draft Victor, you got to start him day 1. So we'll see what happens with that. Up next, sorry, V. Doug McDermott has one more year left on his contract, $13.7 million. And do I think he'll get traded? Yes. Not because I want to see him go. And this is not, any type of negative speak towards Doug McDermott, but he is a solid vet. off the bench with 3-point firepower. He's great moving without the ball, which draws teams' attention, which causes spacing. And I think he can be a very valuable asset to another team making a playoff push. And you know what? That would be, as much as we'd hate to see Doug go, good for him, great for him that he could go maybe play and compete for a championship. So I think there's a good chance he could go. What could we get for him? I don't know. Do you guys think we could get a late first rounder? Is that pushing it? Team's going to have him this year and next year, and he could really be that extra, push a team needs with the 3-point shooting and scoring off the bench. Maybe that's a pipe dream hoping for a first round pick, but you never know. If a team it really feels like they can win now, maybe they have draft capital. They'll give us something good for Doug McDermott. But I think he's the one I think that there's a very good chance because of just what he can do for a team off the bench. I think he may get traded. I'd like to see him stay, but we're in a rebuild. He's north of 30. Happy belated birthday. Just turned 31 not too long ago. So I think he may go. And last but not least, this is the one that I'm a little torn on. Josh Richardson is on the last year of his contract. He's making $12 million a year. And when I look at Josh, do I think he'll be traded? I'm kind of right there in the middle in the maybe spot with him. He's a solid vet, much like Doug. He's a solid shooter, brings us a 3-point game, plays solid defense. And we don't have a lot of vets off the bench right now. And we really don't have many guys that can shoot off the bench. Doug and Jay Rich are our main guys off the bench that can give us, some depth and spacing with their shooting. Malachi Branham's slowly developing to that player, but he's still got a long way to go. We're seeing glimpses, but I'm not ready to just throw him out there and say he can play to that level yet. I think he's a maybe, but he's also, like Doug McDermott, somebody that can be a very valuable asset to a team that's looking to make a playoff run. We'll see. Do I think anybody else will get traded? Gosh, it wouldn't surprise me if we see something like this pop up for a player that we're not expecting. We have to take a look at last season. I'm sure many Spurs fans did not expect Derek White and DeJounte Murray to get traded, and the Spurs traded them, amongst others. I'm sure Bryn Forbes coming back to San Antonio didn't expect to go right back out like a boomerang. There could be that oddball player that gets traded that we're not expecting. What does this mean for the Spurs, though, moving forward with the trades? I just totally screwed up my train of thought. Not in regards to trades, but what's this for our Spurs moving forward? Because there's a lot of things happening with our Spurs right now, too, that I want to touch on. Devin Vassell just had a procedure on his knee, going to be out for weeks upon weeks, might be out for the rest of the season. Keldon Johnson's dealing with an injury, so this is going to be a chance for other players to get chances to shine, like a Romeo Langford getting inserted into the starting lineup, and he's played well at times. Malachi Branham's going to get more playing time. Could maybe these players, like a Romeo Langford, that have been in the league for a few years, could the Spurs possibly look to trade them as a package deal? I think that's where I was going. What does this mean moving forward? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks on our team. They're going to be a bottom 5 team in the NBA. I've accepted that. It is what it is. Just between injuries and just an overall lack of, sheer top elite firepower, we're going to be a bottom 5 team. And I accepted that. And we're going to get a good lottery pick, maybe a great lottery pick, maybe number 1, number 2, Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, so forth and so on. I just don't, when I look at the roster, I kind of scratch my head, Spurs fans, like, what do we do moving forward? Who do we keep? Who do we trade? Is Trey Jones our starting point guard of the future? Do we sign him long term? Do they believe Jakob Poeltl is the guy for the next 5 years and sign him to a 5-year deal? A lot of question marks. Do they believe in Keldon Johnson, who has shown us at times he can be a absolutely terrific starting small forward, and then he had the worst slump maybe I've ever seen in an NBA player not too long ago. So there's a lot of questions on the roster. Some of you say keep like 3 players and break it down. Some of you want to keep everybody. I don't know what the Spurs are going to do this offseason, but if it's anything like offseason, I will say this as I close out the video, expect the unexpected. We could see one of the things pop up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever it may be, and all of a sudden we're like, whoa, the San Antonio Spurs just traded so-and-so. Didn't see that coming, and I wouldn't be shocked if it happens. A package deal. They know they're in a rebuild, and who knows? Maybe it can be my guy Keldon gets traded. Hope not. Doubt it. Wouldn't make sense to extend him like they just did and trade him, but you never know. It'll be exciting and a little nerve-wracking. As far as channel, just a quick channel update. I will be back live next week for a couple Spurs games. I believe we play, is it the Grizzlies, Monday and Wednesday? Definitely want to do those games. Not able to do the big game against the Warriors. I'm assuming a lot of you will be at that game anyway that live in Texas, so enjoy that. That's going to be crazy. We're very close to breaking the attendance record. And I'll try to get at least one Spurs video up a week, as well as doing the little NBA highlight videos that I've been doing. Those have been a lot of fun. And focusing on the music channel. And I may even bring TCR Gaming back just as a short YouTube channel because YouTube seems to be pushing towards shorts right now. I think they want to kind of slap TikTok and take over that, the short video market, if you will. Oh, the lighting just got really weird in here. I'm sorry. So that's just my maybe gaming shorts. I don't know, but I do want to stay active on YouTube. I enjoy it. I'm sorry I didn't do much content the last couple of weeks, though. I just needed a little bit of a break, and then having 3 or 4 games blacked out because of where I live just kind of killed the live streams too. But I will be back next week, and hopefully enjoyed this video, and certainly like to get your thoughts down below. Who do you think is going to get traded next from our San Antonio Spurs? And the guys I mentioned, if you think they're going to get traded, what do you think we can get for them? Anyway, thank you for all tuning in. Till next time, have a great weekend, and as always, go Spurs, go! It's dark in here.